Is back with boys, bringing y'all a hard baits video. I just want to talk to y'all about some hard baits that I just had lying around, so I figured I'd make a video for y'all about them. And yeah, I just want to talk to y'all about depths and important things about them, and I just want to tell y'all about what kinds I think are good. This box isn't nothing, I promise. I have a bunch more. Like I have like 3 boxes full of hard baits like this. But yeah, I want to just talk to y'all about a few of these. I got my crankbaits here, got some rattle traps here, I've got top water poppers, and then I have 2 of these. These are considered crankbaits too, but they're a lot larger, and I just wanted to keep those separate so I could talk about those in a different segment in just a couple minutes. But yeah, I'm going to try to make this video sort of short as I can, so let's get rolling. Alright, this is my short depth. This is my medium depth baits. These are my deep water baits. It's good to know usually where your baits will be diving to, because sometimes where you're fishing you don't want your bait too far down and you don't want it just dragging the bottom. So it's good to know what kind of depth you're fishing in and how deep your baits are going to go. So yeah, I usually just keep my baits organized in my box, and sometimes you can just write with like a permanent marker or just something right below your bait, just just write like how deep it dives or something, you know what I'm saying, just to help yourself out if you can't really remember it. But short to deepest. So these are 5 to 8 feet they dive. These ones are 6 to 4, and then this one I think it says like 3, so this is pretty shallow. It's staying in a medium range, so maybe if you're fishing about 6 foot of water, so you would keep it about maybe this one, maybe, but I would stay around here in the 4 feet range. But you can pretty much use all 3 of these. It also depends where you're fishing with color. I'm not exactly sure what all these brands are, but this is a Live Target Sunfish color brim. This is a Bass Pro brand. This is a Bass Pro brand. I believe this is a Berkeley, something like that. Maybe I'll figure it out and I'll tell y'all in another video or something. And then this one I'm not too sure about, but colors depend on crankbaits a lot. And yeah, so make sure you do good knots on these. Usually a clinch knot or just a palm knot will keep them alright. But yeah, this is a frog design. It's a frog, and I think it's called black sunfish or something like that. It's got a orange belly underneath of it, and I've caught a couple fish on it. Not too many, but this Live Target brim and this white red-eyed right here, I've caught a couple big bass on this. I know this one works greatly. It devastates the bass. The Live Targets are a great lure. I highly recommend them. They're a little bit more in cost, but they're definitely worth it. And yeah, so like I said, try to keep your baits organized neatly. This one's a yellow one. It's got a little couple scales on it. It goes from black, fades to yellow. It has a red line under it. I guess some type of just realism, I guess it's what all these are about. This one has blonde top, fades into a silver, has a solid green line. Another thing is, sometimes your crankbaits still get a little bit rusty. Usually when they get to that point, you might want to just throw it out or try and replace the treble hook, but sometimes that's a little bit of trouble. So yeah, let's get on to my other baits. These are going to be my rattle traps. And this last one here, it's a frog, but I consider it a rattle trap because it works the same idea, and yeah, it swims great. Rattle traps I love because they give you all sorts of depths and ranges where you can fish. They exceptionally allow you to, you can't fish but through so much with these, but you can also get stuck a lot on structure, so it's good to have just these on open water. maybe through some weeds, but usually you'll get, hung up a lot, and your hooks will get caught all up in the algae, and sometimes it just gets really annoying when you got to keep checking it every time you reel it in, and usually it's just not worth it. So this one here, it's called Leopard Frog Print. It has white outlines and black speckles on it. It's got bronze eyes. I don't know if you can see them, but they're kind of shiny in a way. It's got a white belly. This one I've caught so many fish on. I need a new one of these. It's called a Miro lure. It comes from one of those series. It's a great lure. It works excellent. It's got a blue top, silver. It's got a yellow eye, and it's silver all around. And then this one is called, I believe this is another black sunfish, because I got a crankbait, a rattle trap, and a swim bait that are this color. But I can look more into it. It's got an orange belly just like the other crankbait I just showed y'all. But yeah, rattle traps I highly recommend. Most of these are, this is Bass Pro brand. I believe this is a live target, and this is a Miro lure. But Miro lure makes great saltwater baits too, for maybe sea trout and stuff. But yeah, you can work good water depth with these. Just a nice slow reel, especially when around early springtime, pre-spawn season comes up. Some nice slow working trying to think of what they're called. Buzz baits and spinner baits. Those work great when you work them nice and slow. You just gotta know how to work it right. I mean, it's not very hard. You just gotta get the hang of it, and sometimes you just gotta play around with it a little bit on the water, figure out what the fish like that day, and go from there. These are top water baits. I'm not too high. I'm not too high about these. I use them sometimes if the fish are biting top water, but not normally bass fishing. Do I go to many ponds where they're biting top water? But sometimes, in the summer they are feeding on top, and I'll break out some of my poppers. I have a few more than this, but I'm not too crazy about these. This one's a frog print. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got black speckles, yellow belly. This one, it's a gold. It's got a red nose on it, and it's got a green top on the top of them. And then last but not least, like I was talking about, these are, I think they're 5 inches. These are 5-inch. Alright, well, clearly it doesn't want to cooperate. Alright, well, I'll just show y'all like this. These are considered crankbaits still. They're just a longer length. And this one's a white with a red eye. It's got a black stripe design on it. And then these ones are silver. I'm not too hot on fishing with these. It's got a pink belly. Still 2 sets of treble hooks. And yeah, if y'all got any tips on fishing with these, I'd love to hear them, because I don't really know much about them. I know they dive from anywhere from 6 to 12. I've seen, I know, but it's really important to know how deep your baits will dive and stuff. So just keep that in mind when you go fishing. Pay attention to the color of the water and the color of your lures. Yeah, so I hope y'all are successful in the water. If these are helping y'all any, let me know in the comments. Drop a comment below. Or if it's not helping and you want me to get more into detail, let me know. Just put a comment and I'll try to work on another video for y'all. But yeah, these are my crankbaits, rattle traps, top water baits, and crankbait, sorta. I believe it should be considered a swim bait, but it's not. But it's a hard bait, so I really don't really know about much of those. But yeah, so thank y'all. I can bring y'all more of these videos, like I said. Just tell me about it, and yeah, like and subscribe. Thank y'all.